I can certainly appreciate the concept of someone's possessions, things that held sentimental value for them, making their way into the hands of someone who's going to appreciate them. I think that's awesome. Hey everyone, my name is Perry, and welcome back to the Cassette Phase. So finally, thank goodness, the weekend is here. And I'm filming this on Friday, and I just so happen to have a half day today, so I guess I'm kicking the weekend off a little bit early. And as many of you know, one of my favorite things to do in my spare time is to do some vintage treasure hunting, as I like to call it. At places like used bookstores and antique malls, the occasional garage sale, and even thrift stores, but to a lesser extent these days. But my favorite place to treasure hunt at this point has to be estate sales, and I'm going to explain why here in just a few minutes. But I figured, why not bring you all along on my estate sale adventures today and see what we can find. We'll also take a few minutes to do today's time capsule before we head out. And with everything bad that's happening in the world these days, why not allow ourselves a little retro relief? A little nostalgic peace. And that's my goal here, always. And I really appreciate you all joining me. Sound like fun to you? Come hang out. Okay everyone, welcome back to the Ottoman, and welcome to another great day here in the den. For today's background noise, we've got some Alf going on the CRT. You guys know I love Alf. I play that in here all the time. It's honestly one of my favorite sitcoms ever. It just doesn't get old for whatever reason. It's like one of those comfort shows for me. But let's talk about today's time capsule. And today we're looking at a movie. Actually a series of 3 movies, and we're doing a DVD this time around, a DVD set. The first film in this franchise came out in 1993, so this would have been right in my wheelhouse as a 12-year-old kid looking for a great blockbuster movie with great effects and just something to kind of capture the imagination, and that is all here within Jurassic Park. Now, I pulled this set down because I think this is a really cool DVD set. This is the 2005 Adventure Pack, which I think is really cool. Widescreen, which is good. If you want to watch it in widescreen, you can certainly do that. If you want to be like me and pretend it's VHS and set it to full screen on your little TV, you can do that too. But I just thought that the packaging was cool. I know you can still get DVDs with really cool, good quality packaging, but I don't know. I just feel like you don't see it as much anymore. A lot of the cases are so thin, and a lot of times you get them home and they're, the little tabs inside are broken off, and I don't know. I love DVD, but I miss some of these early 2000s types of sets that you would get. And check this out. So you've got some great artwork here when you open it up. Sets the stage for you right there. And apologies, I had to set you down for just a second. I could not do that with one hand, but yeah, I've got the actual discs out, and now you see underneath there was a ticket for King Kong, the Peter Jackson King Kong. Remember how big a deal that movie was when it came out? But yeah, let's take a look here. Now, I really, really love the first movie. The second one I enjoy to a certain extent. I cannot tell you the last time I watched the third one. And I haven't seen all of the new ones either. I think I've seen like the first 2 or 3 of those, but that's it. But yeah, just a really cool set here. No broken tabs. Sorry, that's a pet peeve of mine. Let's see if I can get this one. Just cool artwork all around. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't remember if there are a ton of special features or anything like that. I just know this is a cool set, and this is kind of how I tend to watch these movies when I want to put them on. So I just thought I would share. We'll talk about lots of DVDs coming up. I've got, as you guys know, I've recently cleared out most of the VHS collection. I still have a few over there, but I did get rid of most of them. And I've been watching and really enjoying the reliability and ease of access that comes with DVD. I don't know if they're just not as cool, but you can get them for super cheap, so whereas VHS is getting a little bit harder to find, in good condition with good sleeves that work, and assuming you have a VCR that works consistently, it's just a little bit of a chore. And so I've been enjoying, like I said, the convenience of DVD. And these are great fun movies, especially that first one. If you're looking for a good little set just to have, again, this one from 2005, this adventure pack, really cool set, and I think it makes a good entry as today's time capsule. Now, I think I look at estate sales a little bit differently than some of the other enthusiasts that I've seen here on YouTube. For one, I'm not really into reselling much. There's nothing wrong with reselling, trust me. It's just not something that I do a whole lot of these days. And two, the fun of it, for me, comes just as much from exploring an old home as it does in finding nostalgic items. And you all know that I'm fond of a certain home decor style that verges on grandma style in many ways, which I'm fine with. That's just the kind of environment that brings me comfort. Well, many of the homes that you walk into during estate sales feel like they're kind of stuck in time. A lot of 80s and 90s decor, or even earlier in some cases. But many of the houses that you walk through truly feel like you're stepping back in time. And I know some people might find estate sales to be kind of sad. Why would I want to go through someone's old stuff? Someone who is no longer with us most times. But the way I see it is, if I go in there and find something that brings me joy, and I pay money for that item, which a portion of that goes directly back to the family, it keeps that item out of a Goodwill bargain bin, or it keeps that item out of the trash. And I once had someone tell me that they really appreciated my collection because without people collecting and preserving and cherishing some of this stuff, it eventually becomes erased, like it never even existed. And as someone who has lost loved ones in recent years, I can certainly appreciate the concept of someone's possessions, things that held sentimental value for them, making their way into the hands of someone who's going to appreciate them. I think that's awesome. But enough chit chat, let's go ahead and hit the road. I've got 2, maybe even 3 estate sales that I want to visit today, so they're all a little ways away, so let's get going. Okay guys, we've made it to the first destination. It's just down the road a little ways here, so I'm gonna get out and walk down there. I'm not looking for anything in particular, just kind of see what we find. Hopefully it's a cool, older house to walk through, and if I do find anything in there, I don't know if I'm gonna get any footage yet or not. We'll see. Kind of have to feel out the vibe in there a little bit before I do that, but if I do find anything, I will be sure to bring you back here in the car and show you what I got. Let's check it out. Okay guys, that was kind of a minor success. The house was kind of cool. I got a little bit of footage in there. It wasn't as old as I was hoping. It definitely had some older elements to it, which you saw or you'll see however I decide to edit this. But yeah, I picked up a few things for a grand total of $598, which is why I love estate sales. You know, you can get such a good deal on stuff. So here's my little pile. Let's go through it really quick. So these people were Pittsburgh Steelers fans. And University of Pittsburgh too, which, you know, I'm a Cowboys fan living in the Dallas, Texas area most of my life. And I was able to find some Super Bowl 30 plastic cups, and they look to be almost dead stock here. They are open at the bottom. I probably wouldn't drink out of them anyway. I'm paranoid about that kind of thing now. But the graphics on that are so cool. These are going to look great in the garage. Super Bowl 30 was another great Super Bowl for Cowboys fans, and you know, good memories are becoming fewer and farther between for the Cowboys fans these days. So we have to be nostalgic for some of the glory days. So I was happy to find those. Those will be great in the garage. I found a doily. This is a big one. I actually needed a bigger one. Some of the ones that I have like coffee stains on them from back in the day, or I've got a lot of smaller ones, and you know, for 50 cents or whatever this was, I grabbed it. Always good to have another big one. Let's see, we've got a wood grain picture frame here, which I did not pay $5 for. That was the original price whenever this came out, which, looking at it, looks like it's pretty old just based on the graphics in the picture. But what I'm going to use this for is, at another estate sale a few weeks back, I found a Burger King paper tray liner. You know how you used to get your food on a tray and there'd be a paper liner there that was usually like, it showed what the promotion was for that given day or week or whatever, and it was a Simpsons one from 1990, and I found that in really good shape. Really cool little item, and I want to preserve it, you know, like I talked about. So I'm going to try to fit it into this frame here and maybe hang it in the walk-in toy box, or maybe the garage. Let's see, I've got a vintage photo album here, which I have got a project that's been on the back burner that I do want to eventually get to, where I'm going to print off a bunch of our family pictures from over the years put a filter on them to make them look a little bit old and fill up a photo album or two. And this one actually has the slots and not just like the peel back the paper and lay it back down. Those don't seem to hold up as well over the years, so I was happy to find that one. Sorry for the glare, but look how cool that look is, how retro that is. It's gonna look great on a bookshelf. Hopefully, excuse me, hopefully full of family photos soon. And then the last item, which I'm probably most excited about, is this epic, this is probably late 80s or early 90s tennis racket here. I opened it up. It's not in the best shape, but I am going to clean it up. I love the graphic, and I can tell immediately what time period this is from. Thinking back to the days of Andre Agassi and all the late 80s, early 90s tennis stars. That's exactly what that reminds me of. So I'm going to clean that up and put it in the garage, and there we go. That's the miniature haul for just under $6 total. There is another one here in the area that I'm going to drive to now, and we'll do the same thing over there. I'll let you know if I find anything cool. All right, we have arrived. I already like the neighborhood. We've got a really old looking practice like ball field over here. Some cool old trees. It's promising. Let's go in the house and see what we can find. Okay, no luck in that one. It was a total bust. You'll see when I edit the footage back in that the prices were a little high in there, and nothing was really worth it. But it was a cool neighborhood, fun to walk through the house, and like I said before, sometimes that's all we're really looking for. So let's move on. All right, I drove 2 minutes to another estate sale in this very same neighborhood. So fingers crossed, it's a little bit more interesting than the last one, but this will be our last one for the day. So maybe we saved the best for last. We'll find out. Let's go check it out. Okay, I'd actually say that was probably the worst of the three today. Just nothing great. I mean, I'll put some footage in to show you, but yeah, it was just not good. Nothing was, clean. There just wasn't really anything, I don't know, nothing that caught my eye, which is fine. Still kind of cool to walk through an old house, and this is an interesting kind of part of town with some old homes, some interesting architecture. Like, look at this place over here. I don't know if you can see that. Very interesting, but Yeah, all in all, I'm happy with the haul that I got from the first estate sale today, and I had a good time walking around. So I hope you guys enjoyed tagging along. And there we are. So I hope that you all enjoyed our nostalgic little outing today. And if you did, be sure to subscribe if you're new around here. Also, don't forget to like the video, but only if you actually liked the video. But for now, and as always, relax, enjoy life, and be kind. We'll see you in the next one.